As we continue our quest for the holy grail of media players, Mecool has sent me their newest device, the KM2 Plus, to test to see if it is indeed the holy grail of media players. So keep watching and we will find out if it is indeed the holy grail of media players. In the box you have the device itself, an awesome little remote control, power supply, and an HDMI cable. The remote control contains YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video, and Google Play buttons. The power supply is a 12-volt, 1 amp. One side has nothing. On the rear, you have a SPDIF port, an AV port, an HDMI port, a LAN port, and a DC in. Now, the LAN port is only a fast Ethernet, not gigabit. On this side, you have 2 USB ports, which one of them is a USB 3 port and also a micro SD card slot. On the front, you have 3 LEDs, one for the infrared, one for the network, and one for power. The box itself is plastic, but the insert itself is metal. It's a beautiful looking box. The bottom of the box has a lot of ventilation holes. The best thing about this device, it has 2 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of storage. Here is the device on the Mecool website. Now we'll scroll down to the specs so we can take a look at the specifications. Okay, it uses an Amlogic S905X4 B. It comes with 2 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM and comes with 16 gigabytes of eMMC storage. Now most of your Google certified devices, they only come with 8 gigabytes of storage. So Bluetooth 5. Now the LAN is a 100M, so it's a fast Ethernet, not gigabit. Google certified Android TV 11. Supports 4K, HDR10, HDR10 Plus, and HLG. So that's all the stuff that it supports. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the box and see what it does. The first thing we have to do, obviously, is pair the remote to the box, and then we'll just go ahead through our regular setup procedure. So that's what we're doing right now, is setting the box up. This is the first screen that loads up. These are the apps that came pre-installed with this box. So now let's take a look at the settings. So we'll go through step by step and take a look at them. If you notice, this setting, it has a security patch of May 1st, 2022, and it's running Android 11. So that's this setting. These are all the languages that this device supports, and it supports quite a few of them. This is the video and sound setting, and if you take a look here, you can see all the available resolutions for this device. This is the HDR setting. This is the HDMI CEC setting. Now these are the sound settings, and there are quite a few different sound settings that's available. So I'll let you take a look at those. Now this is an interesting setting for the AC4 audio codec. This is the home screen setting. This is the Google Assistant setting. This is the Chromecast setting. This is the screensaver setting. This is the energy saver. Now we'll start taking a look at some of the apps that are included and some of the ones that I have added. So that's what we're going to do now. As you can see here, Netflix is playing in 4K. "4K video, 60 frames per second. YouTube plays 4K at 60 frames per second flawlessly. No drop frames. AV1 video codec. Using the remote and voice command, looking for the AV1 codec, and it plays perfectly. No drop frames. Install Voodoo. Now that I have added all my apps, I will go ahead and take a quick look at each one of them. So that's what we're going to do next. One thing that I want to point out, after I got all my apps that I want to install, I still have a lot of memory left. This is the HD Home Run app that I use for live TV and recordings.
And text for when you're on the go. That Wi-Fi calling gives you free calling at home.
Right.
Next up is Emby, and that's my go-to media player for my own media. So that's what I use right there, Emby. Now you have Google Play, and that's where you have some of your movies or TV shows that you have purchased, and it's got a whole list of other videos that you can watch. The videos do play in 4K. Next up is the Apple TV app, and it does play in 4K, so those videos do play in 4K. Next up is the Peacock app, and I'm not sure if their media is in 4K because I rarely use it, so I cannot verify if the media is in 4K. This is the Paramount Plus app. Again, I do not use this that often, so I'm not sure if the media is in 4K, so I cannot verify that.
Is that what you heard?
Voodoo by far is one of my favorite apps. Now this one does not play in 4K on this device. However, out of all the abundance of media players I have, the only one that plays in 4K is my TiVo Extreme or my NVIDIA Shield. Those are the only two devices that I have that will play this in 4K, so that's it. Next up is the MLB app, the Major League Baseball. That plays in 1080p at 60 frames per second, which is fantastic. This is the Live Channels app that comes standard on these Android TV boxes. So it's a native app. Again, it's a live TV.
Call 855-MIKE-WINS. You do want to win.
This is the sideload launcher, and that is part of your Google Play Store, so you do not have to sideload it. This is the result of the speed test using Ethernet. This is a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. This is a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. This is the ADA64 app showing all the information about this particular device. I could not get the Antutu benchmark to load on this device, so I could not run that test. If you notice, there is an abundance of video and audio codecs that's listed on here. However, some of those, or a lot of those, do not function on this box, but that's a failure of Amlogic, not this manufacturer of the box. So the question is this the holy grail of media players? Not quite yet, but it's almost there. It's very smooth, very fast. Thank you for watching.